be inspired, be inspirational. Today on Fortitude Through Stoicism. And this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. I've reread this one several times. I think I'm going to go in a different direction than Ryan Holiday does in the Daily Stoic here. But the quote from Seneca, "Let us also produce some bold act of our own and join the ranks of the most emulated." Gonna ruffle some feathers. Gonna call some people out. I get a lot of DMs in my social media, a lot of comments. You're so inspirational, you're so motivational. And all I want to tell them is, good, now fucking do something about it. Like, don't tell me that you like my shit or that, you're inspired by my discipline. Go do it. Like that, my God, that's the thing. Like, I see so many people spend so much of their time watching other people live their life. So for me, I use Facebook as a running blog of my life. Timelines, key moments. I don't do memes. I don't do crap like that. If there's key moments, or I'm challenging the status quo, if you will, which I love to do. I love to get people thinking against the grain. That's why I use Facebook. I use Instagram because obviously you've realized this, that everyone on Instagram is fit, millionaires, it's all bullshit. But the reality is I do find little golden nuggets in there from some of the people that that are influencers, right? And so here's the difference between watching, observing, and being inspired versus going and doing, right? I have seen what other successful people are doing, and I cut through the noise. A lot of bullshit out there. I'm a results guy. Words matter nothing. So I see somebody who's doing the thing that I want to do successfully and with integrity and honor. And so I'm curious what's working for them. And those are the golden nuggets that I get. But as a Stoic, I focus my life on what I can implement. I'm an implementer. You hear me talk about this all the time. I love gold diggers. I love gold diggers. People who are out there relentlessly searching for those golden nuggets of knowledge that they can share and pass on. Because what I do with those, I actually implement into my life. And that is the difference between being inspired and being inspirational. Let's go down this path now. Got a couple minutes here. Let's go down this path. Atomic Habits. Read that book. Habit stacking. I've used things out of that book. So for example, this daily discipline that I do, I'm moving my body on the treadmill for 60 minutes. I get 30 minutes of screw off time, scrolling, reading the news, whatever. And yes, headlines. I do this unbiased thing, all sides, and I do unbiased. So I like to know what's going on in the world, even though I can't control it. Half an hour is my Stoic study time. I'm reading, I'm learning, and then I spend time meditating on that. And then I do these videos as accountability. These are accountability to share my journey, because I go back and look and see how my mindset is transformed. What did I learn? How did I change? How did I evolve? How did I grow? So I implement these things into my life. They become a discipline, a daily discipline that I do every single day. 75 hard. Yeah, I read the book, but the book was just, It's just a funnel filler, if you will. But the reality, the nuts and bolts behind that program is I implemented it into my life. Now it became a part of my life. When I read body language books, I implement those things into my business. When I read Splitting the Difference by Chris Voss, all about high-level negotiations, I use all of those tactics because I negotiate six-figure contracts all week long. That's what I do. and at the bottom of it, every deal that I do is over six figures, and I do a couple a week. Now I know one day there'll be seven-figure and eight-figure deals, but that's the level. That's the level of Zelda that I'm on right now. It's only a zero. It's only a zero. I learned this lesson. I'm going to do a sidebar here. Real quick sidebar here. For those of you that are afraid of money, like I've always been. Because in my mind, I grew up the poor farm kid from upstate New York, right? Parents are poor. I was going to be poor. This is what it is. I was in the mortgage business as a young originator. And I was doing a ton of volume, ton of units. And I had a mentor who did big loans. Like she did De Niro's and Pacino's, and because she worked with CPAs in the city and stuff that managed all their money. So she would do all the mortgages for these super rich and wealthy. And one day she looks at me, she goes, Shawn, what's the difference between what you and I do? And I said, well, your clients are this or something. She said, no. What's the difference in our job? And what's the difference in what you and I do? And I couldn't think about it because honestly, it's the same loan application, appraisals. I mean, it's the same, it's products, right? I mean, you're selling products, mortgage products. So the difference is you're afraid of the zero. I thought about that. So when I'm doing, $150,000 loans, she's doing $1.5 million loans. And, again, this is back in the 90s. Or 2000s, early 2000s. So she's right. It's just a zero. It's just a decimal place. That was fear. So I was inspired by her, right? Using this example because we're in that vein because she was doing big loans. And I realized it's no difference. And if I focus on me and be me, I can become inspirational. And that's what I did. And that's what I do. Instead of standing in awe of these people who do amazing things, I learn what I can from them, and then I go and implement it and do it myself. Maybe not as good, sometimes better, but it's my journey. And now it's my lesson. Now it's my experience. So, don't be inspired by all these people doing all these things. Go out there and fucking do it yourself. And on that, let's have the most amazing day.